Hey guys, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have been supporting me, I just want to say thank you so much. And if you're new, I'm Miss Mbogwa, and my channel, we basically talk about everything, but most importantly, we are a very loving community that is always uplifting, always striving to do better and become the best versions of ourselves. I'm sure you guys have seen the topic of this channel. Please, before you leave, I know you guys are so tired of hearing all these people talk about oh, this is how you save, this is how you invest, this is blah blah. There's just too much talking, but hear me out, guys. This is coming from an African perspective. This is coming from an African who has actually left her country, went overseas, but has just been struggling with money. So if you can relate to me, please get yourself some tea, pour yourself some coffee, get a pen and a book, and let's get into it. I promise you it's gonna be worth your while, and I'm also gonna make it very, very, very fast, okay? All right, so my first point of this discussion is gonna be my journey with money. And I finished high school when I was about to turn 18. So I got my first job. Up until I was about 25, I've been struggling with money. That's a really long time for you to be so bad with money, and I know I'm not the only one. So managing my money was always an issue, and if you had asked me back then, I was always the victim. Yet I was working 6 days a week, 9 to 10 hours every day, the basic level of learning. So if you guys have anything that you would like to contribute to teach me and other people who are gonna watch this video, that would be greatly appreciated. I tell people and they think it's funny. So my first 3 years in Dubai, I didn't enjoy Dubai. Dubai was very beautiful, all those tall buildings, the good life, whatever, but I didn't enjoy any of that. Why? Because I didn't have money. And if you don't have money, your chances of enjoying life are just non-existent, actually. I was just tired of being tired, and I was tired of faking. Sometimes when I would sit with my friends, I would talk about how they've bought land back at home. That's what I really wanted to do, for me to feel like I was doing the right thing, or that was gonna be a reward to myself. But I wasn't even I didn't even have a single cent to my money. When anytime that I would get money would disappear. And I used to get very embarrassed. And I remember one time, me and my best friend, we used to be roommates back then, and we were just talking about just how broke and we just open up to each other, because money is a very sensitive topic. Most people don't like talking about money, and that's because most people wish they would do better with their money. Don't shoot the messenger. We were just talking one night, and we were like, I'm just so tired of I'm always broke. I'm so tired of always being broke. And we're like, you know what, we need to do better. She told me about the book that she'd read, and she's still trying to instill whatever lessons or teaching she's gotten from the book into her real life, even though it was very hard, And then one thing about money, managing money, it's more mental than it is physical. Some people, you can find someone who earns $10,000, but they're so bad with money. Those people have nothing. They haven't invested in anything. They have nothing in their savings. And you're like, but bro, what do you mean? I'm complaining about my $1,000. You get 10,000. I'm better than you are. But the truth is, both of you are not really doing anything. Both of you in the same boat, regardless of if you're not being paid enough. In your case, $1,000, and whoever's being paid 10,000. That's just the reality of it. So we were talking about it, and my best friend was like, I've been reading this book, and I think you should just try. I think it's a really good book. I just really need to intentionally apply that to my real life and just see if I can get better with money. So the name of the book is called The Richest Man in Babylon. It was, I think, written in 1926. And basically what this book talks about is that things that were happening in ancient times actually apply to the current life. So it talks about how you should pay yourself 10% of whatever you get before anything else. So if you get, when you're paid, that's your 100% salary, right? You take a 10%, you pay yourself, and then you do whatever you need to do. And I've read a lot of other, books that talk about finances, but that book in particular, stood out for me, because that was the first time that I was like, if these people were actually managing whatever they were managing, back then, ancient times in this case, why am I struggling so bad and always acting like the victim? That's what I needed in my life. I needed a doable plan. I also tried to listen to a lot of podcasts. I was just on YouTube and checking money matters, like money for black people, like money for Africans. Literally, I was just looking up whatever. I did get a few points, but it's like they were all talking about the same thing. You gotta pay yourself consistently, and it's not like this month I was broke. This month I was broke. This month I was okay, so I was able to save that month I was. And it's something that you gotta like train your brain to be doing every single time. And the reason why you need savings, guys, is because in case of anything, you're like protected, if that makes any sense. It's like when you fall from like a high rise, whatever, and you fall down and you have the cushion, you're like, that's fine, like I already got a cushion, so I'm good. But like when you fall and you don't know if you're gonna meet like trees or like concrete and like break your neck, die, it's like, oh my god, it's such a scary like situation. Savings to me is like some sort of security. So I gotta touch on this very important topic. So when I left Kenya and I went to Dubai, I'm sure you guys can relate, right? When you leave your country, it's like you to begin with, and other people, you think like once you leave your country and you go to like, let's say UK, you go to Canada, you go to Australia, you come to the US, you go to Dubai, you already have a picture in your head of how fantastic life is gonna be, because you see it off the magazines, you see it off the TV, movies, and you're like, I'm gonna be so successful, which is most of the time. But what people don't consider is the time that it takes. Sometimes it takes people up to 5 to 10 years to actually be settled and actually start enjoying, like even living in these like countries. And some of us, when we leave our countries, and listen to me very careful, because if you're planning to leave your country and go to a different country, you need to understand that you're not going to save your whole family. You're not going to save your whole community. You're not going to save your whole country. It doesn't work like that. You gotta give yourself time, because most of the times when you leave your home country and you go to these new places, you start your jobs are like beginner jobs, let me put it that way, for lack of a better word. They're beginner jobs, okay? So like when you leave your country, you go to a different place, you're getting a server position. How much money is a server being paid? Okay, sometimes depending on the country that you are, you're getting paid, and sometimes on a good season you might make good tips. But what about a low season? Sometimes you might be like a front desk agent. Like, the money is not as much as you think it is. So I need you to understand that you can't save everyone. You're not going to build your mom the mansion that you promised her within the 6 months of you being in the United States. Unless, you come in, unaangukia, unajua, you become like super lucky. This is what I used to do. I used to take 90, if not 99% of my money and send it back home. If anyone needs money, I'm there. Cause that's my auntie. She's been there through it all for me. That's my best friend. Her kid wants to go to school. I got the first term. I'm gonna pay the fee, knowing very well I haven't even bought myself a new shoe in like 6 months. And I was just slowly but surely becoming depressed. Cause how am I so tired? I can't even go and make my hair. Like make it make sense. But it's because like and people are like, oh, but I can't do that. And we feel so guilty, because it's like, I promised my mom I was going to give her the world. I promised my brothers that I was going to take them to college. I promised, like, you have got to slow down. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. Your mom is going to be okay with living in the same house. Even if she's renting, just make sure you got the rent. You don't have to build the house. Just give yourself some time. And when I say some time, what might take you 5 years might take another person 2 years or a year. But I'm just saying, be logical, and like don't pressure yourself too much. Don't pressure yourself too much. This thing of sending all your money back at home, you need to stop it until you're in a position to send as much money as you need to. Because one thing about people back at home, one thing they'll have is emergencies. Oh my gosh. And I didn't realize just how bad it was for me until I sat down with an older guy that I used to work with. And he was like, the problem, especially with you women, you're so kind-hearted. Like, so every time someone tells you about whatever they're going through, and you just paid, or you're getting paid next week, you just promised them, I'm going to send you that money. I'm going to send you that money, don't worry about it. So what you should do, even before you get that money, a percentage of it, you don't have it. You have paid for things that you need to pay. And if that person actually borrows you money and you don't have money, that's your truth. You don't have your money. But you have to plan for your money even before you get it. Okay? One thing that I really encourage is you need to invest in learning skills that gonna get you a better pay. You can take a course actually and try and see if you can get a promotion within your workplace. Don't be in the same position forever. You know, they give you that employee of the year, employee of the month, sweetheart. Like, my point number 3 is that you gotta stop paying everything. Oh my God, I don't know. Where's the sun? Please, Habibi. When I came to the US, I spent a lot of money, right? But because I didn't have enough money to pay off everything, I was able to get an option for paying half beforehand before I came here, and then the other half I was gonna pay like slowly when I was working here. Tell me why. So I came here in the beginning of 2020 in January and started working and all of that. Yeah, COVID happened in March, right? Tell me why COVID hit and I lost my job. And all those months since I came here, I was trying to literally pay off the debt. No one was rushing me to pay off the debt. I just wanted to pay off the debt and, you know, finish with, again, another very poor like decision when it comes to money, you know? And the reason why they were not asking me for too much and not my whole salary was because they know that I gotta save a little, pay my bills, and pay them, you know? So that's one thing that I've also noticed that people try to do. Don't do that. Just try to level everything. Put a little money on the side for yourself, put a little bit money on the side for like investment, put a little bit money on the side for like bills, you know, put a little bit on the side for like entertainment, like food, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, just level that, because you never know what could happen. And the worst thing that you want to happen is you trying to pay off a debt that you actually haven't even finished. Or let's say even, for example, like you finished paying off the debt and you lost your job. You have nothing in your savings account. You have nothing to fall back to. Now you're stressed. You're depressed, you know? Don't do that. I learned through the hard way. So please avoid that mistake at all costs. Point number 4 is live within your means. Let me explain this point. So I'm a woman. I like good things. I like pretty things. You know, I like pretty bags, shoes, clothes. I like to travel. I like to go out on high-end restaurants. I like a lot of good things, but where I'm at in life, I can't afford all of them. You gotta narrow it down and find what your splurge option is, okay? In my case, I love to travel. So I'd rather, for right now, as much as I want to get a whole collection of like really nice designer perfumes, or like, you know, be in Zara, or like what do you call, House of CB, getting dresses and shoes, you know, and getting like a designer purse, because I can afford a designer purse. I just can't afford it right now, if that makes any sense. So I'd rather splurge on traveling and then just shop in Shein. Hey, so I was working in this company and it was directly connected to the mall. Okay. Everyone in that whole hotel, like the women were going crazy. Everyone knew where the sales were happening. Every single day they were like, oh my gosh, you gotta go to this store. The sale is insane. When I tell you, before work and after work, I used to Dubai Mall and shop, even for things that I don't need, was like one of the ways that I actually have wasted a lot of money, and buy things that actually stay in my closet for like forever. So that's one thing that, you know what you'd rather do. You know, some of us, like, you'd rather just go like and buy clothes and shoes that makes you happy. But if you know you can't afford to go on vacation, buy all that and all that, you know, you gotta live within your, narrow it down to what you'd rather spend your money on. And then when you're smart in these ways, obviously eventually we're all gonna make it. We're all gonna make a bunch of money, and you'll be able to do everything and anything that you want to do, because you can afford all of it. But as of now, just be true to yourself, okay? Don't keep stressing yourself. Point number 5 is save money that, you know, in case you ever lost your job or anything happened, you're able to live comfortably within, like, you know, within your means for 3 and 6 months. I used to hear this before, but I've never actually thought about it. It wasn't until COVID happened and I was fired after moving all the way from there to here, you know, and now it's like 3 months. I'm like, so I don't have any money in my account. Like, bro, when I tell you, I don't even know how I survived, but I will never do whatever I did ever again. But you see, if I had saved well, okay, it doesn't have to be like the whole 3 months that I was jobless, or like 6 months, you know, at least for even like 2 months, like 1 to 2 months, just living comfortably and not having so much stress every day, waking up and not knowing like what's gonna happen. Like, honestly, that's the best feeling. I'm not saying leave your jobs, but I like the fact that I do get to have an option at a job where I feel most comfortable, most productive. I'm not gonna be at a job where, you know, I'm being mistreated, I'm being bullied, I'm being harassed, because I can actually afford to take time off that job and look for another job, you know? I'm just saying like that it's just like, it's just one of those mental things that just really help, you know? It's a good, I think in a better way to put it, I would say it's a good form of mental health. Investment. So backstory, again, I have a lot of stories to tell. I hope you guys are finding them like helpful. Back when I was 18, was I 18? I think I was 18 or 19. I had a job, but me and my mom were talking. I was like, hey, I feel like I want to have like a passive income, you know? I know I have a job, but I want to be getting some money on the side. And my mom was like, perfect. Like, what do you have in mind? I was like, that's the thing. I'm really like confused. Like, I don't know. I really, really don't know. So my mom was like, the M-Pesas are doing really well. You should try that. Like a money service, basically, for people who don't know what that means. It's like how we send money back at home. That's our Cash App back at home, you know. But now we have the Cash App stores where you're like, hey, I'm Caroline. I want to send this to Jack. What's Jack's number, blah, blah, all of that, okay? So I did that and I started the M-Pesa. I hired someone, of course, because I had a full-time job. It started off just fine. I was making a little bit money and I was talking to my mom. I was like, hey, I was expecting to make more, but you know, it's the new business, baby, it's still a baby. So let me give myself time. And then after that, you know, got a little bit more money and don't ask me where I got that money from. So I saved a little bit more money. No, I got a little bit more money and I was able to like open another business of like selling empty cylinders and like filled gas cylinders, okay? And within a year, both of my businesses had flopped real bad. It got to a point where the girl who was working for me, like I literally had to take my own money from my pocket and pay her salary, which wasn't making any sense. Please, I have a business. The business should be able to pay her and make me some profit, you know? But if I'm being completely honest, I love my mom to death. But those were not my ideas. Those were my mom's ideas. I know nothing about M-Pesas. I know nothing about like selling gas cylinders. You know, that's why I think it failed. And then fast forward, I lost now that job that I was working after my business has failed, blah, blah, finished. So the job that I was currently working at, down the line, I lost that job. And I was like, I'd saved a little bit of money. And so me and my then boyfriend were like, okay, so what do you want to do now? I was like, you know what? I want to go and get things from Uganda. For those of you who don't know, Uganda is like a country that's right next to Kenya. You know, go get like bags and clothes. When I tell you that business did so well, literally, I know fashion. I could sell. Now I know for a fact that I could sell you anything, especially as women. I took advantage. You know, we're very, you know, we're impulse buyers. I would take a bag to this person and then take 3 more. Hey, because I know her friends, when they see the bag, they're gonna be like, babe, send me money. So I really made really good money. That goes to show you that before you invest your money, do your homework. Look at what kind of risks you are expected to you might like encounter, and if you're okay with those kind of risks. And if you have like a lot of money to invest, I would say like just pay an like an investment advisor. If you can pay like the consultation, if you have a lot of money to invest, you can most definitely pay consultation fee. You know, you gotta use a little bit money to make a little bit more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if you tell me to take $200 of my hard-earned money and put into cryptocurrency, it's microsecond, my 200 is done. Why? What do I know about cryptocurrency? You know, there are too many people talking about, oh, stocks, you should invest in stocks. Don't invest in things that you don't know. Oh, and also, oh, before I forget, oh, this book about this girl. I forgot the name of the author. Oh, that book helped me. It's called The Smart Money Woman. It was written by an African and she was a Nigerian. That book is mwah, chef's kiss. Actually, she's the one who taught me that. You know, you just don't invest for the sake of investing. You know, do your homework and see which investment you're most comfortable with. Don't be one of those people who are like, oh, it's because I only get paid 10k Kenya shillings, 10,000 Kenya shillings. You know, that's why I'm not able to save. If you can't save 200 bob from that 10,000, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's different, you know, just like me. It's not like I save 10% of my money every time. Sometimes actually I save up to 50, and sometimes I can save like 5% only. I'm just saying, like, it depends, but your brain knows every time you get paid, you gotta pay yourself, and that's just that. And imagine when you do that, it's like you don't have these emergencies happening. Why? Because regardless of the emergencies happening, I'm saying emergency because, you know, I'm just saying quotes. I'm just saying emergency because it's like there's always something coming up whenever you're paid, whenever you're about to get paid, okay? So you gotta be smart with your money. I say invest in books, invest in podcasts, go to YouTube, it's free, and you have all these like big people who talk about like how their journey with money was, and I promise you it's very, 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 very helpful. Okay, all right, and before I finish off this video, I did talk about Dubai. I do have a video if you guys want to go ahead and watch this if you're planning to go to Dubai, if you're planning to relocate to Dubai to find a job. I have talked about all the steps of like how I went to Dubai, where I stayed at, how I made my CVs, how the interviews were, how was the hiring process, and all of that. So you might want to go ahead and check out that video. It is very, very helpful. And yeah, so that's it from me, my loves. I gotta get ready. I have an interview. Wish me luck. I hope that you guys learned a thing or two. If you did like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. And you know, if you think it's helpful, please do share it on your social medias and also share it with friends and family. Let me know which point you most resonated with. And also, like, if you have anything to share with us, please don't forget to comment on the to leave a comment on the comment section. That would be all. I love you guys so much, and until next time, bye. Mwah.